Breaking news is the market gyrations. Remember, earlier this very hour, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was down by more than 600 points, well over 600 points. Now it's down just, we say, 279. So we'll watch it into the close. The next time, meantime, you go to the pharmacy to get a prescription filled, be careful. If it's after January the 1st, it may cost you more than it did before. That is because nearly 30 drug makers are planning to up their prices come the new year, putting an end to a self-declared halt to price increases that was put in place earlier this year when the companies came under pressure from the Trump administration. We're joined now with everything you need to know about this. Obviously a very important story from the Fox News Medical Aid team, Dr. Marc Siegel. Wow. Boy, what happened here?
Well, first of all, GoodRx has a survey that says 36% of Americans are reporting increases in their drug prices. So the first thing that's happening is, yes, some of the drug makers who were shamed by President Trump into not raising their prices are now doing so. According to the Reuters report, 30 are doing so. But the real headline here, Connell, is that they are still giving rebates, but the rebates are going into the pockets of the middle managers, the pharmacy benefit managers, the insurance companies, who's ever negotiating prices with these drug makers are still getting discounts, but they're not yet being passed along to the consumer.
So it doesn't hurt the consumer necessarily.
It is hurting the consumer.
Oh, the discount's not passed along, is
exactly.
What you're saying. Right.
The discount's not being passed along to the consumer, and that's the concern.
And why not? What's behind that, and will it change?
Well, hopefully it'll change because HHS has some new rules coming into place where you can't soak up the profits, you can't hide it. We're going to see price transparency. We're going to see more of those rebates going to the consumer. So 2019, even if it's seeing increased prices, may see savings for consumers.
Okay.
But look, we're talking about drugs here that I need to give to my patients.
For example?
Blood pressure drugs, cancer drugs, treatments for multiple sclerosis,
not stuff you can go...
psoriasis. These are commonly used drugs, and sometimes they don't have generics available.
That's what I was going to ask. So it's not like you can say, you know, I know this is expensive, but take the generic. That doesn't always work here, or often doesn't work.
Exactly. If you have a biologic or a targeted treatment or an autoimmune drug or a new blood pressure drug, you're not going to be able to say, here's the generic coming along, because FDA is approving a record number of generics, but they don't catch up necessarily with our state-of-the-art medicines that we need to use. So we need more pressure applied to the drug makers.
Well, is pressure enough?
Novartis and Pfizer say 5% price increases, but if you're a consumer, you know, Pfizer says 41 drugs are going to have 5% price increases. Novartis says 14% of their drugs. Amgen, Bayer, GSK, they're going to all see increases. But 5%'s a lot if you're a consumer and you're paying it in a copay.
Assume, you know, you'd be in favor, or maybe, I don't know if you would, but of free markets as a general theme. But in this case, what are we going to see? The government's going to crack down. I mean, the president himself's been pushing for that. The shaming of the companies is not going to do it.
I think price transparency is the first step, and we're seeing a lot more of that. We're seeing dashboards in Medicare, Medicaid, where the consumer angrily sees what they're paying.
Right.
They see which manufacturer is raising prices the most. California has a law where if you raise your prices more than 16%, it's got to be reported. We need more and more of that.
Okay.
And then ultimately competition will rule the day.
That's what you're
right. Shaming isn't working, but I bet I'm going to wager that if the president's watching us, he's going to do more shaming.
I'm sure. Well, he's got a lot on his plate.
It worked temporarily. We need more of it. We need more pressure from HHS on this.
He's got a lot on his plate today. I'm not sure if this will get on it, but you never know. Dr. Siegel, good to see you, as always.